Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to look about an MCQ which is asked in NEET 2020. Okay, it is regarding the periodontal flap. Okay, so I'll just display the question now. So the question is about what is the ideal periodontal length to width ratio. Okay, so before moving into this, I would like to tell you what is a flap. Why you are doing a flap surgery. So basically, what is a flap? Flap is nothing but I'm putting an incision. I'm trying to reflect the gingiva for two things, right? So very simple. I'm reflecting the gingiva to look into the bone for visibility and to instrument that area, to remove the calculus or to remove the granulation tissue. So basically for visibility and accessibility, I'm going to elevate a flap. This is the basics of flap, right? So before moving into this MCQ, you should know what is the flap designs and what is the principles of flap surgery, right? I'll tell you in a very simple way, right? So what is a flap design, guys? Very simple. I'm going to put a vertical releasing incisions or I don't put a vertical releasing incisions, right? So in case if I put a vertical releasing incisions, right, either I can put one or two, right? So if I put a one vertical releasing incisions, that is called as the triangular flap, right? If I put two vertical releasing incisions, that is called as the pedicle flap, right? Just very simple. And if I don't put a vertical releasing incisions, that is called as the envelope flap, right? So in a linear fashion along the gingival margin. So this is based on the blood supply. Okay, so either I put a vertical releasing incisions or I don't put a vertical releasing incisions. So once you know the basics of the flap design, let's move into the principles of the periodontal surgery pertaining to this MCQ. Fine. So I'll tell you three basic principles of periodontal flap surgery. Whatever I do, either I elevate the flap for debridement or I elevate the flap for any plastic surgeries, whatever it may be, I should follow these three basic principles, right? So the first thumb rule is the base of the flap, right? The base of the flap should never be less than or it should never be smaller than the apex. In other words, the apex should always be less than the base, right? I'll put you an image. And the second most thumb rule is the incision, what you put. Okay, the incision, it should be parallel from the base or it should converge from the base, right? If you put an incision like this, definitely your apex is going to be less than the base. Your base is always greater than the apex if you put like this. If you put like this, okay, fine, it's still better. But once you put an incision like this, your base is going to be less than the apex. Your apex is going to be more. That should not be happening, right? So your incision can either be parallel or it can converge from the base. Second thumb rule. And the third thumb rule is pertaining to this MCQ. What is the width to the length, right? So width here is base. So the base, if you see, when I put an incision base, for example, I put a 1 millimeter incision in the base, right? So I put a 1 millimeter incision. My length should never be more than 2 millimeters. If I put a 1 millimeter incision here, it should be 2 here, right? So the length to the base ratio is 2:1, right? Why not 3:1 or why not 5:1? Very simple. If you look at the blood supply to a flap, any flap, the blood supply will be from the base to the top, right? So if I put an incision, for example, if my incision towards the base is 2 millimeter, if I raise a 7 millimeter length incision of a flap, for a particular distance, only the blood supply of the flap can be achieved. For example, my tip of the flap might not get adequate blood supply, which might result in marginal flap necrosis, right? So for adequate vascularity, the ideal length to the width ratio is 2:1. In other words, you can remember that the L alphabetical order. In alphabetical order, the L always comes ahead of B, right? So L is always 2 and B is always 1. So now coming back to the MCQ. So the ideal periodontal length to the width ratio is 2:1. I hope this makes sense. I cannot cover entire flap in one video. So we will discuss an MCQ like this in small parts. So there will be a lot of MCQs from periodontology in the upcoming videos. So if you like this video, please share with your friends and thank you for watching this video, guys.